Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to return back to Russia and take a look at one of the Russian Army 24-hour ration packs. Now this particular one was made in 2016. It expired its best before date in 2018, so it is now 6 years old and 4 years beyond its best before dates. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And as you can see, I now have here on the table this 24-hour Russian I.R.P. This particular one is the menu number 1. It comes in a vacuum sealed bag. You can see the date of manufacture is 2016 with expiry date 2018, so this is approximately 4 years past its best before date, so hopefully things are still good. So I'll obviously have to be careful with the contents. Easy peel tear strip. There is a resealable grip there, so it looks like you can reuse these pouches to hold any leftovers, so give that a tear across the tear strip. This is actually aged in my possession. I've had it in my stocks for a good 4 years or so. Just found it at the bottom. I've collected so many. This is one that I actually neglected to realise I had in stock. So that tear strip hasn't opened. It's still very, very well sealed. So I think I'm going to have to forego the resealable bit and bring in my trusty friend, and we shall take it across the top. That's much better. So, mylar foil bag, so hopefully contents are still pretty good. I'll just give it a tug. As you can see, nice simple cardboard box on opening. Let's find the opening for the box. It's been sealed a long time, doesn't want to give up its secrets. So finally we get this open, and impressive set of contents. So let's see what this Russian 24-hour I.R.P. actually contains. Now straight off the bat we have some wet naps. There are white and green. Green for the utensils, white for your hands stroke face. So there are 6 wet naps, feeling quite compressed. We also have the heating stove, so 3 hexamine style tablets and a little folding stove there. We also have the accompanying windproof, waterproof matches. We have 1, 2, 3. There's another 4 packs of crackers, and they look like they're all the same. There's no variation. They're just 4 packs of crackers, so plenty of crackers there. We also have 1, 2, 3 large sugars, so there are 3 sugars. Plenty of calories from sugar. We have what I believe is pepper. I think this is an isotonic drinks powder, so it's not one I've seen before, but I'm sure that's not isotonic drinks powder. Just move the pepper over. Unmistakably coffee. We have the famous Russian apple jam or apple butter, virtually in every ration. We have 3 of the old style plastic spoons. You don't seem to see these now in the newer rations. They seem to have more white plastic, but the 3 of the old style spoons. We have a fruit and cereal bar. Some salt, water purification tabs. Just taking all the small sundries out first. Now, I think this is cheese. I will do a proper translation on opening, but I'm sure that's could be cheese. I believe this is a pate. Still going. Now this is one of their vegetable caviars. I think this is a zucchini or courgette caviar. Still going. 2 teas. Just put those at the top there. Now, one of the main meals I believe is potatoes with beef. I think that is probably the potato and beef. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We also have, I'm trying to decipher which, we are also supposed to have in here a buckwheat porridge with beef. I think that might be the buckwheat porridge. And also the last meal is some stewed beef. So that's either the stewed beef or buckwheat porridge and vice versa, but that's obviously the potato and beef. Full translation when I come to eat it. There's also a couple of serviettes, or TPs I suppose, whichever the need should arrive. And there's a little information sheet there, obviously all written in Russian. And again, some sort of description of the contents of the ingredients. So, that is the contents of this Russian 24-hour out-of-date I.R.P. So let's get what I would consider breakfast out on a tray and see what it looks and tastes like. So, as you can see, I now have here laid out on the tray what I would consider breakfast from this pure meat-based ration. Every meal contained beef, so I've gone with the beef kasha, or I think it's kasha. It's the buckwheat porridge. With that, I know it can be a little bit dry, so I've had the zucchini or courgette caviar. I also have the fruit drink, a coffee, some apple jam and crackers. Now, because I like to give these its best try, I have had the buckwheat porridge before. Boiled in the tin, it comes out very greasy, so to give it its best chance to simulate cooking it on a stove under the bottom of the tin, I have actually fried the buckwheat porridge to give it its best flavour, the sort of flavour you would get from frying this tin on a hot stove. So, with that in mind, we need to quickly get on because it's getting cold. So I'm going to start where I normally like to start, is with the drinks. So put wheat porridge there. I'm going to start with looking at this coffee. So it feels a little bit coarse. I just hope it's not compromised from its age. Oh. And it has. It looks like it's gone clumpy. It doesn't look good, so I'm not going to try that. That's a shame, but it does look like the mould, coffee mould, has got on there, so I'm just going to bin that. Fortunately, I do have one of the teas nearby, so we are now going to have tea with our breakfast. So this is the very simplistic looking tea. Unfortunately, the coffee's gone. Tea bag, no string, which is unusual. It looks like there should be a string, but I can't see one on there. And I do like sugar, so I'm going to have a portion out of one of these large sugar packs. Not the whole pack, but about a teaspoon or so in there. No whitener, so this is going to be black. And we'll just give it half a cup, half a mug. Again, just to give it its best chance of flavours. We'll just leave that to do its thing while we take a look at the drink powder, the isotonic drinks powder. Now all I can make out on the translation, it just says berry fruit, berries. I can't get the translation to tell me which berry, so it might be mixed berry. And again, it says hot or cold, so it's very nice coarse granules. It's got a strawberry style smell coming from there, but I'm going to use cold water this time. And it asks for about 200 millilitres of water, so that's about 3/4 of this glass. Good stir, a lot of sugar. Obviously the sugar would dissolve better in the hot water. Taking some dissolving in cold. Now I'm just going to take the corner of this apple jam or apple butter. Seen this many times now. It appears in virtually every Russian ration that I've had. Would be nice to get some fruit jam. That seems to be extremely rare. I think I've seen it once on a more modern one, but it's very rare to get a fruit jam. It always seems to be this apple. One of the crackers, there was 4 packets, 8 biscuits in each, so plenty of crackers, and we'll just have a couple again for demonstration. I have warmed the courgette or zucchini caviar. I've had these also before. Sometimes they're better warm, sometimes they're better cold, but I have warmed this one, so it is just like a puree. Try not to spill that everywhere. I'll take the lid off, which is very liquid. And as I say, I have actually warmed the buckwheat porridge over a stove, so that's all there, nice and hot, ready to go. So it's the buckwheat porridge. So before we start, let's just remove this tea bag. It's had long enough to do its thing. I also have salt and pepper on standby just in case. So starting with the tea, dark looking tea with only half a mug of water. That's an English breakfast style tea, quite decent, reasonable quality. Even black with sugar. That's a nice decent English style tea, but obviously it's Russian, a good quality tea. Coming from a tea drinking nation, that's certainly not bad at all. And I'll look at the berry drinks powder. That's got a raspberry style artificial flavour to it. It has got a lot of sugar still on the bottom. It's not dissolved well in cold water. Obviously would have been better in hot. But again, a nice artificial flavoured, not overly coloured, but a very nice sweet raspberry flavoured cold drink. So both drinks are very good. Now I think really I need to go straight to the buckwheat porridge. So this is buckwheat porridge with beef, and as I say, I've given it a fry because I've done these boiled in the water and they tend to go very greasy. Fried, they dry a lot more. The buckwheat grains are very soft, very well done. The beef is not greasy when it's cooked in the can over a stove. Much better way of doing it. Not overly flavoured. Basic, simple flavours. Beef, salt, pepper, buckwheat. That's about it. Very simplistic, very filling. Very easy to eat. Easy to chew. Loose grained. Simplistic flavoured. But it is a nice, decent and still tasty after all this time. Let's not forget the time. 6-year-old still perfectly edible. Now, obviously that's very dry, so the reason I chose this caviar, zucchini caviar, courgette caviar, again, very, very simplistic. It is just like baby food. It's pureed courgette. There is a little bit of pepper and salt, I would suggest. That's about it. There is a herb, it might be bay leaf, bay flavour, but it's very simplistic flavoured. Almost tastes like a tomato, so I'm just going to add a little bit first to the porridge to add a little bit of moisture to that buckwheat. Still not the most flavoursome meal, very simplistic in flavours, but certainly moister. It's more like a gravy mixed in with the buckwheat. Just moistens things up a little. Helps with the eating, makes like a gravy, so it's not so dry. Certainly the way I would eat that. Add some moisture, a little bit more flavour. Now let's have a look at the crackers. So very simplistic, looks like white wheat cracker. Not much of a snap. Quite soft, showing their age. There is a bleached flavour. I did notice this in old rations from Russia. This seems to have changed now. These older ones seem to have a bleached flour flavour to them. You can taste the bleach. Very soft, gone past their best, still edible. A basic wheat flour cracker, but you can taste the bleaching from the flour. Try a little bit as a base with the buckwheat. Certainly fine as a backing for the buckwheat. I'm going to try some of this apple jam. It's usually a dark, thick. There it is. Seen so many times before. These crackers are a little bit stale. I think they're well past the best. With their bleaching flavour, they're not good right now. Still edible, I think, but not good. The jam, that's still edible. Nothing wrong with that. I do need to be mindful of its age, this. I'm eating everything, not thinking about the age. But the jam, perfectly tasty. Crackers have gone soft, past the best. The drinks are good quality flavoured drinks. And the meal itself, very simplistic in flavours, but it is a filling, easy to eat meal. So, that is breakfast. Please join me in my next video when I look at their lunch and dinner components. But for now, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.